Aloha, everyone. I sure hope you're making the most of your talents today, especially if that means doing something for someone else. Welcome to Dr. P's Facets of Life series of podcasts. This is pod number 48. Today's topic, self-definition. How do we define ourselves to ourselves? How do you know who or what you are? Believe it or not, at some point during our lives, many of us ask that question. Many of us would not admit this to anyone else, but in my line of work, I hear that said a lot. Many people require a definition of some kind that will serve as a personal guide to enable them to feel they have a purpose and direction in life. This can also motivate implementation of that decision, a definition and decision that creates value for oneself in the world. Obviously, this can be a very subjective process as well as a complex one. And just as there are many facets that define us, there are many ways to examine ourselves from different perspectives. So, my purpose here is to help you find ways to look at yourself and discover some facets that make you who you are, as well as some facets that you have not appreciated. When you try to look at yourself, do you see a person who has self-love, self-esteem, and self-confidence? Do you feel worthwhile, valued, needed, lovable, and loving? Or, perhaps instead, do you see yourself as a person with little self-respect, who is unloving or unlovable, or who does not feel valued, needed, or worthwhile? Or another possibility, perhaps, do you see in yourself some of the assets listed above, which might be undeveloped fully? So once you feel you have defined who you are and what kind of person you perceive yourself to be or wish to be, then I think it's time to take a personal inventory of your personality, assets, and liabilities. I want to pose some questions that are meant to help you compare your initial self-assessment with how that might change after you've answered those questions. This inventory has been devised to elicit an honest response from you about what you believe are your strengths and your weaknesses, as well as your major traits, tendencies, likes, and dislikes. This may be a difficult exercise for some of you, so here are some recommendations to assist you in the process. Remember to take your time with this exercise. Set aside quiet, alone time so you can minimize distractions. Be honest with your answers. The only person who will read them is you, unless you choose to share them. Write out your answers so that you will have them to refer to later. The sample inventory that I will go over with you is meant to nudge you toward other ideas to create your own list. The purpose of the sample is really just to get you started. Do your best to answer the questions with a yes or no answer. Here we go. I am a nice person. I am an honest person. I am unselfish. I am loving. I am lovable. I am likable. I am hardworking. I am considerate of others. I am thoughtful. I am sincere. I am sensitive. I am open-minded. I am patient. I am caring. I am environmentally responsible. I am fair-minded, and I am intelligent. All those things would be considered strengths or desirable traits by most of us. However, the opposites of those things on the list would be considered weaknesses or undesirable traits, which can be improved upon once you have acknowledged them. And of course, that is the purpose of a self-inventory, to describe who you believe yourself to be at any given stage in your life and determine how to improve if you so choose. The other beneficial aspect of a self-inventory lies in the value of the process itself and the ever-changing discoveries of connecting with yourself. Just as an aside, let me suggest that similar personal inventories, when completed by couples who are contemplating marriage, can be used very effectively as a tool in assessing compatibility. Now what, you ask? Well, When you've completed your inventory, I suggest that you use the information to decide whether or not you are pleased with the picture you have created for yourself. If you are pleased, then move forward on your journey with what may be a new self-awareness. Continue in the direction you're going. However, if you're not pleased with the picture you have created, then perhaps it is time to figure out what changes you're willing to make. You know, change does not come easily for many of us, especially if you feel it comes with too big a price tag. That price tag is usually perceived as too much time and effort, or even as shame. But I believe that positive personal growth and self-improvement benefits us far beyond any price we pay to accomplish that change. I truly believe that each of us has much more to offer ourselves and the world, much more than we might think. Well, that's it for this time, my brothers and sisters. Discover your talents, and then use your talents in productive ways. And always remember that gratitude is the best attitude. This is Dr. P saying aloha.